So we'll ask Clem Persaud to come up, please. The Gene Weaver.
Thank you, Morgan, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your warm applause. I have to assure you that at my age, when people applaud so warmly, I take it and run before they change their minds. For a bit of levity, I've asked Tyler to show you this, and it's this idea conference we've been thinking, and here is something on thinking.
Can we just grab the... Hopefully it'll work.
Oh, the ghost went through.
Hold on, sorry.
It's not working.
Technical difficulties. Just give me 1 second to try one other thing.
Very quickly after
Yeah.
VLC.
I have faith in VLC.
So this is German Coast Guard, and he leaves him.
You want to turn it up on your machine?
Speakers underneath, Tyler. Anything like that?
This is the German Coast Guard. What are you thinking about?
There you are, singing. If I were to say to you that it is possible to take a skin cell from your skin and to tweak the genes and reprogram them and convert that skin cell to a functioning heart cell and integrate it into the heart so it will beat, would you believe me? We can do it, and we are doing it today with reprogramming. My subject is epigenetics, and my title is The Gene Weaver. If you'd like a Twitter version of this presentation, it is this: we are able to influence the behavior of our genes. So epigenetics, what is it? The name implies that epi is above and genetics below. And so if we imagine in the control center of our cells, the nucleus, the genome is there, or genetic code, what makes you you and me. That does not change. The sequence of genes remains the same. But we have found that what is more important is which genes of the genome are expressed. So here is the genome, and sitting, as it were, above that is a collection of mechanisms which control the expression of genes. And that collection of mechanisms is called the epigenome. Now, let's consider some of the findings of the epigenetic theory. We believe that epigenetics, the system of controls, is affected by, here these, diet. Well, food is still our best medicine. Lifestyle, environment, including social environment, drugs, stress, early childhood. Depending on the severity of abuse in early childhood, the effects could last into adulthood and may raise the risk of suicide in that adult to the grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We're beginning to understand now how these epigenetic changes can be transferred through the generations. Now let's look at some of the implications of this epigenetic concept. I begin with the placebo effect. And Tyler, you won't mind if I pick on you. But if I were to use an acupuncture, and Tyler, he's got some pain in the shoulder, and he feels some relief. There's pain relief. But another day, I use a toothpick, the toothpick experiment, and prick him with a toothpick. He might say, oh, I feel better. And we would say that's a placebo effect. We've known about that. I'm not saying anything that's new. But what is new is now we understand what is happening. When he believes that that prick will give him some pain relief immediately into his bloodstream. Neuropeptide chemicals, they go to the brain, they change the function and expression of genes in the brain, and hormones like serotonin and dopamine and pleasure hormones are released, and he has pain relief. The power of intention. He believed. That's what made the difference in his body. Doesn't that put a new slant on faith healing? When I was in university, and you were too, in science we were taught, we knew it, seeing is believing. You saw it, you measured it, you weighed it, you quantified it. Seeing is believing. Now epigenetics says believing is seeing. Now here is another major idea of epigenetics. I'm holding up my Visa card, and it's chip enabled. The time is coming when you go to the doctor, you and I will have our genome in a chip. And the doctor will give us medicine that is customized to our genes. The medicine will be good for us individually for the right time of day, the right dosage, and the right duration. The medicine is geared to our genes, personalized medicine, and so it carries then our gene footprint. Here is another big implication of epigenetics. Cures. Already psychiatrists are beginning to provide enriched environments for mildly autistic patients, and they're seeing some results. And all they're doing is, in effect, changing the expression of the genes in their patients. And they're seeing these promising results by merely changing the environment and confirming what we know, that it appears that here's the genome, here's the environment, and the epigenome is the interface between the two. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, the environment is far more important than we thought. In fact, we are seeing now, epigenetically at least, nurture is more important than nature. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but the importance is becoming apparent. Here is another implication of epigenetics. This morning, I had a liter of wine. I just said that for effect. And you can see the effect. What I had, in fact, was this capsule, something like this, and it's a grapeseed extract capsule. In this grapeseed, ordinary grapeseed extract, is a compound called resveratrol. Well, here's the epigenetic theory. If we can tweak the genes in an older cell and reverse their behavior so that they express younger genes, we may be able to turn back the clock on aging. And this is a substance, this resveratrol in the grapeseed extract, has wondrous properties. Antioxidants, anti-aging, heart healthy. What I'm saying is, we are on the verge of making some breakthroughs in changing gene expression, changing cancer, changing the face of a number of diseases, and maybe, quite possibly, delaying the onset of aging. One last implication of the epigenetic concept is this. It's gone mainstream now, epigenetics, and I'm holding up to you this Time magazine of January, and it reads, "Why Your DNA Isn't Your Destiny." And a subtitle, "The New Science of Epigenetics Reveals How the Choices You Make Can Change Your Genes and Those of Your Kids." In that connection, ladies, and I'm not gender biased, I'm addressing the ladies, if you were to become pregnant, now we know much more about prenatal nutrition. A simple thing like an egg with the choline can influence the brain of the developing fetus. And get this, the choline and certain other substances in the diet, in a good diet, will lower the risk of breast cancer in the pregnant woman and lower the risk of breast cancer in her daughters and in possibly her granddaughters. Gene expression changes. And so, in view of that, what's my idea? Let me present my idea to you as follows. It's a revolutionary idea, and it's not just mine, but here it is. You can reinvent lives by rediscovering our genes. Our DNA is not destiny. We can influence our lives and the lives of generations yet unborn by simply living wisely and living well and eating well and a positive lifestyle. What does it mean for me? Well, confronted by the flow of life, and we all are, I choose to be a positive person. I'm not perfect, but I choose to think of the glass as half full rather than half empty. I choose to be a gene weaver, to try to influence the genes in my body. I know I will not change the world, but I also know that I am changing my personal world one gene at a time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.